Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to show you how to make this water shaker card. This took me 5 hours, guys, so hopefully you do a better job than me because I was just getting really fed up. But I'm just taking a stamp set, which is tulips from the Woodwares collection, and then the Festive Fun, which came from a subscription. I'm also taking two 6x4 inch cards, and I just cut one down the middle so I have two separate pieces. And then I'm just going to take the jar from the Festive Fun stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp that on the front panel of my card. And as you can see, I'm just working out like where the tulips are going to go and where my jar needs to be. So I'm just going to stamp that using some TUXEDO black ink. That way I can, don't have to worry about it not being dry or smudging or anything like that. So just using my stamping platform to make sure that I get a crisp, clear imprint. And this is what the jar looks like. I'm then taking a craft knife. As you can see, I was not pushing on the table, and the reason for that is I seem to have misplaced my craft mat, and I really didn't want to mess up my desk, so that's the reason why I'm doing that. So hopefully you guys have a craft mat. So I'm just cutting a little slit in there so I can get my scissors and cut round. So I'm just going to cut the inside of the jar out. That way I have my opening for my shaker. So I did do this on screen. I absolutely hate cutting on screen because I am absolutely rubbish about it. I am looking into buying some decent scissors which are specifically designed for fussy cutting. That way it might improve. So as you can see, I got fed up and it's taking too long, so I ended up cutting it off screen. And that's what it looks like. I'm now taking some double-sided foam tape. I don't know what the width or anything of this is, but I do layer it 3 times on my card. And I did end up moving it a couple of times, so I do not do that on screen, but I did move it just so your shaker. So I'm going to be using a Ziploc bag, and you need to be able to move your Ziploc bag in and out without it catching on either side of the foam tape, but just enough for it to like keep it in place, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. So as you can see, it's just full strips, and obviously I just did the bottom portion as well. But you'll see in a moment that the strips seem to disappear and become really thin, and that's the reason, because it kept catching. But the reason this took me so long is because, one, I forgot what I was doing, because this is the very first time I've ever made a water shaker card, and in all fairness, I struggle making a normal shaker card, so that is the reason. So as you can see, I am just figuring it out, so that's why this took so goddamn long. I think the more times I do this, the better I'll become at it, but I will leave some videos linked in my description that show you how to do it better, and in different ways. So I used water and glycerin, but some people used hair gel, and what was the other person that she used? I think it was just water and olive oil. So I will link those videos down in the description, guys, so you can go and check those out. Some people also used a fuse tool instead of a Ziploc bag, so I'll also link that video as well. So I hope you guys can figure it out and do a lot better of a job than me. My mom wasn't really bothered about it because, like she said, in a couple of days it'll be taken down after Val. So it just seems kind of pointless. So hopefully the next time I attempt to do something like this, it'll be better. Like, I need to learn how to use my fuse tool. I bought it maybe a year ago and I still haven't really used it. I practiced with it when I first bought it, but I'm just really impatient and it takes quite a while to heat up. So, I need to learn to be patient. So, I'm sorry I'm talking too much as well, guys. Like, I just don't want you to miss any steps by me just putting music in, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I do apologize for that. So as you can see, I'm just still layering. So I am going to speed this a little bit up because it is taking way long, and I don't want you to be sat here for 5 hours like I was. So I will see you in a second. you're just going to see me try and slot this in. So this is what I meant by you need to be able to get this in and out. And yeah, so that's what it'll look like at the front. So now I'm just going to start doing some of the colouring. So I'm taking the tulips from my stamp set. I don't actually know the name of the stamp set, guys, and I tried finding it to link, but I can't find it. So I do apologise, but any flowered stamp set would probably work. I mean, I know Low Fawn do a couple of floral stamp sets. I also know Alta Nu do some, so it's just basically whatever you have. I just purchased this off eBay one day, and you know, it's been set in my craft room for about a year and a half, so I wanted to use it. I also did an Instagram live where I coloured these in using watercolours, so be sure to check out my Instagram on my IGT, and hopefully you guys will see that I did not do great, but I didn't do too bad either. So I'm now going to colour this in. I'm just going to be using my Pro Markers, and I limited the colours, and also I asked a friend from Loves to Build, her name is Sasha, and she helped me pick the colour combinations for the tulips, because I googled it, and obviously red is the most popular, but I wanted to do something a little different, and I was a little bit stuck, so I had the combinations of pink and purple, purple and orange, or pink and orange, and obviously you'll see in a second what I decided to go with. So big thank you to Sasha for helping me out with that. So I will also link her Instagram in the description as well, because I think she deserves a little bit of love after helping me out in a little bit of a predicament. So I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to put a time frame in of where to skip to and insert some music. So I'll see you soon, guys. So once I've finished colouring in, I'm just going to fussy cut this. I do some of this well, I do most of this off screen. And I just took my craft knife to get in between the flowers, and then I was trying to work out, do I want the stems at the back of the shaker, in front? And I decided to go with behind the shaker. So what I ended up doing, I ended up cutting the leaves, and I didn't do a really great job of this, but like I said, it was a first attempt, so maybe I'll make this again in the future, I don't know. Or maybe guys, let me know down in the comments, have you ever made a water shaker card, and what's your advice? It'd be really helpful. So I'm taking some self-seal clear bags. I get these from the works. I don't know what size these are, but I also ended up in the very end, which I don't show you, I ended up taking the smaller bag that I used and using a bigger bag, which was 9 by 12 centimeters. And I ended up placing one inside the other, that way just in case the small bag leaked, it didn't necessarily leak onto the card. So I'm just taking a couple of tablespoons of water. I think I took about 6 altogether, but I ended up taking a little bit out. So I think roughly it was about 4. And I'm just taking my glycerin. So this is vegetable glycerin, and I bought mine off eBay, but apparently you can buy this in supermarkets, which I didn't know. But I don't even know like what vegetable glycerin's used for, so maybe that's something I need to find out. You could also add colorants in here, so like alcohol refillings to add color to the back of the thing, so you could have added blue in here. But I wanted mine to be white, you know, so then I'm just going to seal the bag and mix it so they're evenly distributed. And then I'm just going to add some sequins. My sequins are from the range, so they don't necessarily have a color name, but I ended up just using greens, holographic, clear, some white, and then a few purple, which you don't really see much in the card, but this is what I used. And I didn't use all of those sequins, you know, I started off using a couple and just eyeing it, basically what looked good to mine. And then I also added some glitter confetti, which again I got from the works, and it's just the silver confetti because I just wanted this card to sparkle a little bit more. So the hardest bit was getting the air out of the bag enough so it laid flat. So that was my biggest issue that I had. So as you can see, there's like there's not enough sequins in there, so I just ended up tipping quite a lot in, but there you go. That's what that looks like. So again, I ended up just putting the glitter in. I don't know how much I poured in, the amount that I thought was good. And this is what it looked like. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of air in this pocket. And I wasn't happy with it, so I was trying to get as much air out as I could possibly do. Which again is another reason why this took so long, because using water, as you can see, I just pushed it out and it just nearly destroyed my front of my card panel, so yeah. So that was like the annoyance. So I'm now just taking a marker and going around the inside of the jar just so you don't have that like whiteness. And I'm actually going to be honest with you guys, I ended up ruining the front of the card panel, so I had to do another one. So if you notice, like, this jar is kind of straight, but the one that I ended up with isn't, and that's the reason, because as you can see, the water got all over the card, and then I got ink on the front of the card panel because of the water. So I tried using a sand eraser to get rid of it, and it didn't work, so I had to redo that again. So I didn't refilm it because I just thought, well, it's pretty much exactly the same as the first one, just I didn't destroy this one. So the marker I'm using is just a black marker from some sketch markers that I have. Any black marker would work, so it's up to you what you want to use. So this is where things get a little bit complicated and I was getting frustrated. So I have my little baggie, and as you can see, water leaked out again. So now I'm just like working out, does this need to go here? Does that go here? And then I ended up using some of these handmade love stickers that I bought to place the Ziploc bag actually inside the card. I was going to use tape, but tape is a little bit of a hard adhesive, and so is glue, so I used the stickers, so if I needed to move this, I could just peel these off because they're very low tack and it wouldn't destroy my card. But that's what the water shaker looks like, guys. And as you can see, I was like, I need to somehow manage to get those stems on that side and the flowers on the top coming out of the jar. So I didn't do a really great job about cutting it. I just cut straight across, and I really shouldn't have done. So as you can see, here goes the really bad bit. So yeah, maybe do a better job at cutting these, because I didn't, and that's my regret. So as you can see now, they don't reach. So that's what's really annoying. So I was trying to work it out by obviously placing it and pushing it and just doing everything and anything. So I did take like a 10-minute break because I was getting that wound up about it, but here I'm trying to work out, do the flowers need to sit on top of the jar? And I was like, somehow I need these like look like they're inside. So I ended up figuring that out. And what I did is I put a slit in the top of the jar, which you'll see me do a little bit later. And I'm going to use my multi-matte medium glue to stick down my stems. Couldn't think of the word there. So I'm going to use that to stick down. As you can see, I worked out a placement for them. I'm just going to take a pencil so I can mark out where they need to go. And I still managed to screw this up somehow, so I have no idea. But me and just getting things in alignment are very bad. We don't have that great chemistry. Like, I bought a T-square ruler the other day, and I still can't draw a straight line. Like, it's so bad. Like, I remember being in school in maths, and the reason you could always draw a straight line is because in your paper we used to have like little squares, and they all obviously were aligned, so it was easier to draw. So maybe that's what I need to do. I need to buy some squared paper. So eventually I just stuck this down, and then I bring in, I can't remember. See, my mind's going, guys. So I'm still using my multi-matte medium glue. Also, this is coming to the very end of it, so the reason why I have such a small bottle is because I've never used it before, and I didn't want to buy such a big bottle, and if I didn't like it, I didn't want it just to be sat there and being wasted, so that's why I bought a small one. So I think the next time I buy one, I probably will buy the bigger bottle, but again, there's a little bit of a worry in the back of my mind, because if I do that, you know, will it be rubbish, you know, and will it dry quicker inside the bottle? So I don't know. So here's me aligning the card, and as you can see, the water shaker does work. So eventually, once I've got this figured out, it didn't bother me. So there's a little slit I didn't show you on screen because I had to remove the bag, and it just took forever to do that because I was stressed. Like, I was proper stressed. So if you are like me, you really don't have patience, maybe a water shaker card isn't for you. Maybe just stick with normal shaker cards, but I really wanted to try something a little bit out of my comfort zone, so here I am just taking some more foam tape, which are in layers of 3, because obviously I need my card to lay level on my card base. And eventually I get this to work for me. So yeah, if you guys have made a shaker window with water, please let me know how you did, and just send me some pictures over on my Instagram, because I'd love to see it. Like, I always see other people's creations, and I think the issue is we all compare ourselves to somebody else, and realistically we shouldn't. We should be proud of what we accomplish. So I'm trying to do that, but when I was doing this, it was just so annoying, because I kept looking at the videos that I was watching to try and do this, and I was like, how come mine doesn't turn out like that? Why does mine look rubbish? So I need to keep in mind that I am a beginner, and these people that I've been watching are probably like been doing this for like 20 years. So yeah. And so here you go. There's the little slit in the top of the jar, and they sit in like so. And then I just bring in, like, I think it was my multi-matte medium glue again to stick these down. And I was trying to push this through without piercing the bag underneath. So yeah. So I just brought in my multi-matte medium glue, and I'm just going to stick those tulips down. So it was really fun. Like, I am proud of what I accomplished, considering this was the first time, but I was talking to somebody from 88 and Clear. His name is Richard, and he's a card maker. He's been crafting for 25 years plus, and I was asking him if he's ever made one, and he said yeah, and his advice was that I should be happy with what I accomplished, because at the end of the day, like, when he first did one, he struggled as well, and he said he ended up giving up. So, you know, I need to be happy that I stuck with it. The only downfall was that I actually did get backache for leaning forward for 5 hours continuously. Like, even though my chair has like a back on it, it's just like too far back, if that makes any sense. So I really should buy a new chair for my craft room, because I do spend quite a lot of time up here. Anyway, gonna stop yabbering on. Also, guys, I do not have a sentiment with the word mother on, which really annoyed me, and I think this is where the card went really badly. So I love how that looks on its own. I should have left it. So I'm taking Delftcraft alphabet stamps. I bought these ages ago, and unfortunately I can't find them. I think they've been discontinued, but I was doing some gold embossing. So this was the Cosmic Shimmer Bright Gold and the Tim Holtz Distress Embossing Ink. And I was trying, guys, and I really think this is what made it the worst card that I've ever made, because the sentiment just did not look right. If I had a sentiment which said Mother's Day on it, it probably would have gone a lot better. But I don't. So I'm really, really annoyed about it. So this is where it went wrong. I also tried doing a black lining after I'd adhered the banner to the front, and again, it screwed up. So I do apologize, guys. Like, maybe I shouldn't have even like posted this, but you know, we all have that one stage where we have to learn from. So that was the end of the card, guys. As you can see, I feel like I ruined it with that, but let me know what you think, guys. Also, go and follow me on my socials. Check out the videos that inspired me for this card, and go and follow Sasha, because she was a very good help. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.